Broadcasting live from the beautiful Hyatt Regency Savannah for Georgia Economic Developers Association 2022 Conference. It's time for Association Leadership Radio. Brought to you by the Georgia Center for Employee Ownership. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Association Leadership Radio, and we're broadcasting live from the Georgia Economic Developers Association's annual conference. So excited to be talking to our next guest, Courtney Johnson with ECS Southeast. Welcome, Courtney.
Thank you.
Well, before we get too far into things, tell us a little bit about ECS Southeast. How are you serving folks?
So we're an engineering consulting service firm. So we do anything and everything you need to build a building, from environmental, geotechnical, construction, or facilities.
So do you have a kind of a niche on the type of buildings, or anything goes over there at ECS?
Anything goes. You want to give us warehouses, gas stations, single family? We do it all.
So is there any project you've been working on lately that you're most excited about?
We've gotten some really fun warehouse buildings. I'm not sure which ones I can talk about,
right.
But we do have offices all along the southeast coast and into the west, all the way to Louisiana. So we have a wide range and a wide bunch of offices. We do a lot of gas stations around town. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of fun to do. So
now when a prospective client or a client comes to you looking to build something, are they coming with an idea, or do you help them like from ideation to say, okay, what's possible, or do they have an idea of what they're looking for, or both?
So they come to us with a design. They say, hey, we want to build a gas station on this lot of land.
Right.
And we say, okay, in order to do that, this is the kind of soil you're looking at as far as the geotech goes. And then once all of that is done, we can then take them into CMT and help them build it. But we don't design anything. Okay,
so they already come to you with some sort of a design,
yes,
or at least an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can help them partner with the right person to get the design.
Occasionally we will get people that just say, we know we want to build something, we bought this piece of land, or we want to buy this land,
right.
And we can do preliminative studies on things.
Now, what are some of the things that the client maybe doesn't know that you know right away? Is it some of the soil stuff
So I personally do geotechnical engineering, mm-hmm. So I look at the soil, but we can look at the environmental aspects that might impact it, whether mm-hmm. there's wetlands that are going to be a problem. We can tell you the area you're in has high clay content, maybe it's not the best to build in, or if you do want to build here, these are the kind of foundations you need.
Right, because I would imagine this is pretty complex. It's not it's not obvious to them, but it might be obvious to you.
We usually have a good idea of what the general state is going to be, because we do a lot of projects in the same areas, and you're going to have the same building loads for the same type of building. So we can get an idea, but we like to dive deeper into a site before giving final
obviously
things.
Before. But at a glance, you probably can give them general information that they wouldn't know necessarily, because that's not their specialty.
Right. Yeah, we can kind of give them an idea of, well, you're probably going to need, this many borings to look at it, or mm-hmm. maybe you want to have an assessment done, an ESA done before you look into this land, because maybe there was something there that
Right, so it would be good to talk to you before they even bought the land, right? Just to get some idea of what's ahead of them or where pitfalls could lie.
We do have a lot of people that talk to us before they finalize their purchase, mm-hmm. And we'll give them the data back saying, oh, this is really great land, or maybe you could work with this land, but it might cost a pretty penny.
Right, yeah. It may not pay off if you kind of jump into this before doing that kind of research.
And we'll never tell someone not to buy something. We'll just tell them, if you do, this is the steps it's going to take. Yeah.
So now you're here at this show. Why is this important for you?
We're really invested in the growth of Georgia. We've done a lot of, like I said, warehouse projects. Mm-hmm. We do a ton of solar plants. So we just really love to see the growth in the state that we're in. We are a larger facet. Our office is a smaller facet of a larger company. Uh-huh. So each one of our companies is very prideful in the state that we're in, and we want to help it grow and become the best it can.
So now with warehouse, especially, like you're right here in the kind of the belly of the beast,
Yes.
right? So there's a lot of growth and a lot of opportunity here in this part of the state.
Oh, yes. We're seeing a lot of growth in our Midway area, the Liberty County, you're seeing a lot of movement sort of out in between Atlanta and Savannah.
Space, right?
Well, the ocean on the other side doesn't leave us a lot of room.
You haven't figured that out yet of how to build warehouse there?
I mean, maybe some stilts, but that might tides make it a little challenging.
So for you, when you're working with a warehouse person, you're being forced to kind of just keep moving out a little bit incrementally farther from this, hub where we're sitting right now, right?
Yes, we have a really large office in Atlanta in particular because there's so much growth around there. But for the Savannah area, we definitely see a lot of growth further out from Savannah,
right.
Brunswick, and we're willing to travel if the client asks us to. So,
So now you mentioned solar. Can you talk about some of the initiatives are in and around solar?
So I've mostly done just geotech on them. As far as their
Are you finding more desire?
Yes, a much higher desire for solar plants we're getting clients calling saying, hey, I'd like to build a solar plant, and we're able to go in and do the geotechnical work for it. And when I started, it wasn't necessarily, I saw very few of them, and then as I've been in the industry longer, I'm seeing a lot more interest in that, yeah.
So that's kind of exciting, right?
Yeah, I like green energy, so I'm all for a solar plant.
Right. But it's great that they're asking about it more.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see, and Georgia is sort of an untapped potential for solar energy because we're a whole lot of sun and a whole lot of land.
I know, go outside right now.
It's always sunny here.
So now, at the end of the day, at an event like this, what are you going to be kind of most excited about? What to go back to the office and tell them? What is it? The learning? Is it the networking? What is the
So I'm a people person, so I love meeting new people. So most of my job here will be sitting at our table and just talking to people and finding out what they're interested in and how we might be able to help them in what kind of ways. And if we can't help them, maybe we can help advise them. Like maybe you should look at this or that.
Right.
So we like everyone growing together.
So now, if somebody wants to learn more about ECS, what is the court and what's the website or best way to get a hold of you or somebody on your team?
ECSLimited.com has our website, and we have offices all along the southeast coast and going out a little bit into the west. So we do have a huge range. But ECSLimited.com can give you that
a jumping
access.
Off point so they can go there and learn more. Good stuff. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate y'all.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We'll be back in a few on Association Leadership Radio.